Hi, I'm Mike, and I like plants. This pollinator garden needed a bit of help. There were some plants growing there naturally, like this nice big goldenrod, and a few intentionally planted ones, like all the different milkweed species. I started out by ripping up a lot of the grasses and elements of creeping Charlie, which I'm not opposed to, but these Asclepias species in here and the Monarda fistula, so that's the milkweed and wild bergamot, were intentionally planted as part of the pollinator garden just in this last year. And I want to make sure that they've got the space to thrive before they have to start really competing. So I'm using a combination of tools, the 3-prong rake and my weed scoop, weed weasel, I can never remember the name of, and just a little single stem plant remover. Adding some soil in around a few of these plants, just black earth, try and give them a bit more support, help make sure they stay independent of each other. And you can see I'm just moving that one milkweed a little out of the way of the wild bergamot to make sure they can both thrive. There's a lot of grasses in here and some invasive mulberry behind that you can't quite see. That's being handled on another day. But slowly going through the soil, trying to find weeds. There's a lot of rows of Sharon and creeping Charlie and things like that from nearby plants. And this goldenrod, which is a prairie species, tends to like to lean on other tall shrubs or grasses in the prairies, but since I don't have any of those here yet, I'm just using a bit of thin garden wire to safely pull it back to make sure I can access underneath and that some of the plants there get some sunlight and space and aren't being outcompeted. There were a lot of different roots in here, and you can see getting into some of those corners got pretty tricky, but using the right tools can make that job a little easier. I like to spread out the soil after I've done a round of weeding because sometimes there's little plants that have sort of fallen under the soil as you disrupt it, and just smoothing it out a little bit shows them pop up. So this is a lance leaf coreopsis. I've placed some stones around. I don't think it was buried quite deeply enough, so it flops over pretty easily. I've just added some stones around it to help sort of contain it and keep it upright, and then adding some soil to amend. And in there, that was taking out a ditch lily, which is an invasive species that find their ways into all kinds of interesting places thanks to squirrels. And after a good effort, it looks a lot cleaner, and these plants are thriving and ready to head into fall, show off their beautiful blooms, and be ready for next season. Thanks for watching, and keep growing.